Alrighty, number 2. I'd like to go very quickly. Now, by the way, if I'm going too fast, that is your problem. No, no, no. This is videotape. You can play it back, wait for the next program, right? Right, okay. So, also, there's my email. You can always call and ask questions. Let's take a look at the state of Florida again. There's some quick things I want to tell you about. You know, as you travel throughout the United States, you need to look for certain things. Now, every state has old rocks and new rocks. A lot of people say the deeper you dig, the older the rocks go back. All right, that may be true in certain places. But in Florida in particular, the new rocks near the bottom and the old rocks are up near the top of the border near Georgia, because that's just the way Florida formed itself. And of course there's fancy names, Eocene, Miocene, and what it basically means is that all of these rocks in Florida were formed long, is that long enough?
Yeah.
Long time after the flood. In other words, Florida is what we call very recent. It's one of the newest states in the State of the Union because it's one of the last ones to come out of the water, so to speak. So it's had a bath. It's the cleanest state there is. Okay, next chart. We have here, now don't criticize my drawings.
It's your drawing?
Yes. That's a Balansaurus. Before Florida was Florida, and that little palm tree and island, that's supposed to be up in Central Florida where all that tourist attraction is, you know? Up there. Those animals swam all over or above Florida. And when they died, they sank to the bottom of the water. And when the water went down and Florida was dry, guess what kind of bones we found? Duh, those. You can find Balansaurus bones, fossils. Okay, so as you go around into, no matter what state of the union you're in, you can actually go looking for things. Now, what you want to do, a lot of fossils are in black rocks. Well, that's more gray, isn't it? And what you want to do is to be able to find a way to crack them open. But you want to be very, very, very careful when you break open a fossil rock. Because when you break it open, you know what might happen? You could destroy the fossil. Or you could open it up and find nothing. You don't find a fossil every time you go looking. So I did that. That's a piece of slate, we call it. And that piece of slate was, well, I went through a lot of those pieces and I found no fossils. If you get the series on rocks and minerals, you'll find out why there's no fossils in slate. Do you think I'm going to tell you why? No, of course not. You're smart. Now here's another one. Doesn't look like much, does it?
No.
Okay, look when I turn this over. Don't worry about it. I'll show her first. Look.
Cool.
What is this? What does it look like?
Looks like little prints.
Little prints. Okay. So maybe a little kitty cat walked over or something, huh? Let's prop this up so they can see it at home. Wow. Put your finger there and show us where it's at. See if it can. Yeah. Those are actually pine needles. All right. So this rock is older than the flood. This goes back before Noah. And when the flood came, the black mud, or whatever the rock is in the area, it squished it. And when it squished it, the leaf rotted away and left its print. It's very difficult, Brittany. By the way, this is Brittany. She's here to help me. Forgot to say that in the beginning, but if you watched the first session, you know this is Brittany, so you got it. Plants. You very rarely, almost impossible to find a fossil of a plant because it does squish and rot. With an animal, if you find a prehistoric animal, you're not going to find the skin and the guts and the blood vessels and tendons and all that neat stuff. You're going to find bones. Because that's, yeah, the fossil bone, because that's about all that lasts. Let me show you another one. Now, before I show the folks at home, let me show you, because that way we get the oohs and the ahs. Okay, see this one? I like these flat rocks. These are good. You know what a skimmer is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, you get a hold of these things, and you throw them just right, and they go ping, ping, across the water, right?
Yep.
I was getting ready to throw this away. But then I noticed something, and when I cracked it open, looky.
Cool.
Is there any word she knows? Let's go. Let's let the folks at home. You want to hold those up for me a little bit? Don't be nervous and shake them. Hold them up. Look at that. Can you put it together for him? Stay right with it. Put it together. I know, it's an intelligence test.
Okay.
Okay. Now, oops. Open it up. Don't break it. It's only about $100. Okay, open it up again. Open the book. Isn't it a neat book? This is the book you can read. Oh, and notice that it's not needles. You notice it's not like the one you had before? This is after the flood. You see, we had a lot of plants on the earth that were needle-like. And then after the flood, we had the broadleaf plant that came out, the hardwoods. Isn't that awesome? Now, the next time you get one, get a time to throw one of these, you gonna throw it?
No.
I don't know. I wouldn't either. Give it a little bit of a tap. By the way, you don't have to see it at home. Look right there. See that little mark right there? It looks like a piece of leaf. That's what caught my eye. See, I picked this out of the water. And when I picked it out of the water, being it was wet, you could actually see it. So I went back like this. I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. And by the way, on fossils, you don't have to hit them like you do your brother. You give them a nice little gentle tap, and they always break where the fossil is. That's handy, isn't it? Okay. Let's get these out of the way here. We got another one. Keep these wrapped up, you know. Let's just go ahead and put this over there for me. Put this behind it. No, I don't want that one behind it, because I may need to use it. Put this behind it. Right in the middle of this rock. And this is up, they can be found, see that white chalk I have around it there?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. This is called a trilobite. You ever heard that word before?
No.
A sixth grader has never heard of, going to be a sixth grader, has never heard of the word trilobite? Everybody knows the word trilobite. It's the same as a TV dinner kite word. Anyway, this is an animal that lived such a long time ago that he died and got stuck in the mud. Look at that one. You look at that, and we'll let the kids at home and mom and dad take a look. You look at that one. Do you know what, there's a bug called a roly-poly?
Yes.
Okay, a pill bug, so bug. When the trilobite died, he rolled up into a little ball. So that's the whole trilobite you have in your hand, and what the kids see right here, and here he is stuck in the mud. So one thing nice about animals that have shells like that, you can find the animal, you can find a print where he fell off and left a print, and in this case you can actually find trilobites. Now trilobites have been on the earth for such a long time. They were here before the flood, and we have dug up trilobites the size of a small compact car. That's how big they got. I like it. Okay? Now today if you find a trilobite, you're only going to find them dead. Say, oh, oh. Yeah, there's no more living trilobites. Oh yeah, there's you out there that say, what's that, the horseshoe crab? Yeah. It's a living fossil. Who cares? Trilobite. You don't say trilobite to a hermit crab or a horseshoe crab, you say horseshoe crab. You don't say, look at the living trilobite. One thing you have to do as Christians, you got to remember, don't tie these things together. We are not from monkeys, and definitely, Brittany does not look like she came from a monkey. Now, we've all seen some ugly girls before, but no. Say, forget this. This animal's related to this animal, and that connects to that. No. Your Bible doesn't say that. It says he made this, this, and this, and this. What's that? Say something intelligent, like a black rock. It's a fossil. Yeah, okay. Let's take those off of there. I tell you, it's great to have 4 hands. I think it'd be neat if God gave us 4 hands, but we would sure look funny. That is a fossil fuel. You haven't seen that stuff before? You know what that is?
No.
It's a piece of coal. Coal is something that you can burn, and people keep warm by it. Florida Power and Light and other power and light companies, Canadian Pacific, whatever, all those companies, some of them can burn fossil fuel, and they're burning that rock. And that rock is supposed to be made of dead trees and dead animals. That's not nice, is it?
No.
No. Just won't you just leave them alone, right? And this rock here has been squished and pressed and just made a mess of it. It's more mud than anything else. Very difficult to find any fossils in here. Very, very rare. You've got to go to something called oil shale, and sometimes you'll find them in slate. What is on the other side of this rock?
Your email address.
Would you hold that? Yeah, there is a fossil on the other side of that rock. But this is for those of you who have any questions and want to get a hold of myself. This is American Online. For those of you who think about computers and kind of a thing, that means you can contact and reach any questions you might have through a website or the American Online. Okay? So it's simple as that. Now, once again, I have another set of video I want to show you. Places that around the state of Florida. And look what it says. It says, a must place to see. One thing I like about these places, Brittany, they're free. They're free. You can actually go and, oh man, this is neat. But don't pick any rocks up. This is an awesome place. Watch this. Doesn't look like much, does it? This is a place called West Palm Beach. Now what they've done, they've tore down all of downtown of Palm Beach to build a whole new area. And this is a hill. We don't have hills in Florida. And on the hill, there's a seashell. So this was underwater. And that hill was an old coral reef. Now that hill belongs to a higher hill. And further up the road a piece, they cut a road through it. And this is what you people need to go look for. You turn the corner. So you turn the curve. And you go around the corner. And all of a sudden, instead of going over the hill, they cut the road right through it. And that hill is about 30 feet high. 30 feet high. We're going to stay with this. I want you to see some more of it. And it's all solid coral reef. And last time I was up there, we actually met a gentleman up in his years who helped cut this through. The neighbors decided to put a hole right, cut right through it.